Here's the lesion. Do you see it? It's a lytic lesion in the calcaneus right there. It's got rather well-defined margins. So here's a CT scan. I'm going to scroll through it. There it is. It looks lytic. It seems to be fairly well-defined. There are the edges. Again, there's no intralesional calcification. Here's the T1 coronal. It appears quite dark. And here's the T2 lesion, T2 coronal, and it appears bright, at least bright in the center of the lesion. Here's the biopsy, a very low power. It does not look particularly cellular, does it? When you go on higher power, you'll notice that it has this slightly myxoid or myxochondroid sort of background within which there are these spindle-shaped cells. Some of them will look a little more epithelioid-like here, but they look extremely bland and there is no mitotic activity. But perhaps the most characteristic feature, and it's very nicely illustrated here, the area in the center here looks a lot more cellular than the periphery. In fact, this is a very lobulated appearance where the central portions look hypocellular, the peripheral portions look more hypercellular. If you go to the hypercellular areas, you'll see a few additional vessels, but in general, they are the same sort of cells, spindle to epithelioid, very, very bland looking cells. Here's another look at that biopsy. And again, you'll notice that hypocellular zone, the hypocellular zone divided by this more hypercellular zone, and the hypercellular zone tends to have a few additional cells making it hypercellular. None of those osteoclast type giant cells that you often see. All in all, looks like a relatively bland tumor. My question for you now is, what is this? You have both the imaging and the histology. A diagnosis, ladies and gentlemen.